No, sir. Hey, babe. Babe.
What?
Real life. Honey, the kids are getting into the bathroom and Kaden. I tried to lock all the doors. Hi, sissy. Babe, I locked this door. This is like real life. I can't even get away for a second. Hi. Okay, hold on 1 second, guys.
Mama.
Babe.
I know.
Come here, sissy. Come here.
Come here.
Sissy, come here. I'm doing an Instagram live. Come on, guys. Come on. Come here. Yeah, no, I didn't lock that one. All right.
Wait, hold on.
Oh my gosh. Baby, that doesn't lock. It doesn't lock, honey. All right, guys. It's real life. What happens in the Lochte house? Hi. So, this is like my third time ever going live, so bear with me. I don't really know what I'm doing. So I'm going to wait, I guess, for everyone to get on. Maybe like 5 minutes. Okay, let's see. And I'm on my phone, so I'm going to be trying to answer the questions through here. Hi guys. I wanted it to be brighter, but it's not really that bright in here. Okay, let's see. Thank you guys for coming on, and hopefully I can get all these questions answered for everybody. Yeah, let's see. Okay. I think I'll give it like another minute and just let everybody get on. Okay. I'm trying to get it brighter in here. I thought I was gonna like use I have a ring light, but the kids broke the bulb. You know, just children. Try to get some light. Let's see if I can do this. This is why I don't do lives, because life, you know what I mean? Okay, I don't even know if that did anything. Whatever, who cares? You can see me, I hope. I am so happy that I can try to spread awareness about this silent issue. So far, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, we're in week 3 on Wednesday. I still have my surgical bra on. I still have tapes all over my incision switches, around the nipple, down and underneath. And I'll get into that. I did an anchor lift. So, yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm honestly starting, I think I was kind of sluggish. I think obviously I don't take much medication ever. So just having to take a bunch of medication and antibiotics, I was just really feeling like sluggish. But the visual notices I noticed like in my skin and just the color overall of my skin changed drastically instantly. So that was like a huge indicator right away that like, wow, my body was just like, whoa. So yeah, that was one thing. I would say after hitting the 2-week mark is when I really just started to feel like I'm just like, you know, going uphill. Like I just start to feel better and better each day and just like have this sense of peace. And then that might sound really weird, but I don't know, just this sense of like contentment. Like I just feel normal and I just feel like I'm like finding my soul again. That might sound so weird, but that's truly just, you know, how I've been feeling lately. Okay, so we're gonna get D on. So I gotta figure out how to do this. D, if you're watching, can you try to send the request? I see some people sending a request to join. So I don't know. Oh wait, anyone who can see this person's live will be able to watch this. No. Do you guys know, do I have to request somebody? Because because Dee is going to join. Okay, there we go. View request. Go live. Okay. I'm so excited. Maybe I'll do lives more often if I feel normal. Hi.
Hi, I think it worked.
Yeah.
I can't see you. It says it's connecting.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm so
Hi.
Hi, everyone. This is Dee.
I'm Dee.
For Dr. Rankin. And she is just amazing. She has so much information. She actually went through an explant herself. What was that, 5 years ago, right?
Almost. About 4.5. Yeah. About four and a half years ago.
She knows exactly what it's like, and her implants almost like they put her in the hospital, right, Dee?
Yes. Several times. I was so sick from mine. I had 54 symptoms to be exact.
Yeah, so she totally knows and walks right along these women that are getting this explant surgery, and really is just like a huge advocate and just informing everybody on these toxins and just, I don't know, being a little bit of a support system. So thanks, Dee.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this, Kayla. I mean, there's so many women who are, teetering the line, or they aren't sure, and they haven't connected the dots yet. And, doing, informative videos is a tremendous help to so many women out there. You're really doing a wonderful thing by opening up this door and being vulnerable and sharing your experience, because it's emotional, it's physical, it's spiritual. There's so much that goes involved with, explanting.
Yeah. It's I'm just glad I have this platform that I can, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm glad I'm able, because I don't want any more women, ever wasting their time and their money. I spent so much money on medical blood like that.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, I feel like starting with the implants is even better off. You know what I mean? It's, and I know it's pricey and stuff like that. So, anyway, so if
I'm
anyone
also going to write down some of the comments that are coming in.
Okay. Yeah.
So we have Betty Boop, 1982. She wanted to know the difference between a J-wrap and an anchor lift. And so the J-wrap is an incision that goes around the areola, down the breast, and it hooks off a little to the side. The J-wrap can't be done if your implants were put in under your breast, and if the incision is under there, that doesn't make you a candidate for the J-wrap. It would most likely be an anchor or a lollipop, whichever the doctor sees fit. Dr. Rankin, he will measure you, check your breast tissue, and whichever lift is going to give you the best aesthetic result, that's what he's going to do. So some women go in there with their heart sets thinking the J-wrap is the way they want to go, and then really it's the anchor lift that they end up with, and they're always super happy with it because he's the one who does it all the time.
Yeah, and I got an anchor lift. So yeah, it's around your areolas, down through the center of your breast.
And then what they do is, if your implants were put in through the crease of the breast, he will use that same scar to not create any more scars. He'll go through that same incision, and then what he does is he takes the excess skin off from around the breast, and then he pulls it all in together. So a lot of women, there's a misconception that the areola is actually removed, and he doesn't take the areolas off at all. He really just takes the excess skin off around it and then brings all that skin in. It's kind of like a tightening type of thing. It just pulls it back all in together. It just takes, the implants, if you've had them for, any more than like 3-4 years, and they're over like a 300 or a 350, that weight pulls them down. And you may think they're going to come out and be like fine, and some they are, and some they don't. They hang down way low, and you just want to, it's a big change. So you want to make sure that at least you're walking away feeling confident about what your new little boobs are going to look like.
Yeah, I love mine. I love them. I just showed them for Ryan for the first time the other day too, because I was like, okay, come here. You
The
want to see?
unveiling of the boobs.
Sure. And I was like, okay. And he's like, okay, I'm fine with that, because he was really nervous, because he was just like, I don't know, babe. I just don't know. He's a boob guy, so you know.
All guys are nervous, and I think a lot of women, you know, we go through this kind of on our own. You know, yeah, we have support really about us, but we kind of forget the husbands. They are, you know, I talk to some husbands, they feel like, you know, that, you know, they're losing them as well. Like they're fun bags. They're not so fun when your wife feels like shit and, you know, she can't leave the bed, or, you know, she's never in the mood, you know what I mean? Because she's sick all the time. You know, you just don't feel right. Let's see what else we have here. Hold on.
He's fine.
A question that was, wait, can you talk more about the memory loss? I've had implants for 14 years. This is Ashley Jackson asking this. You know, the brain fog is real, and it's one of the most alarming, I think, to most of us, because that's where we're really like, holy crap, something is wrong here. Like, you know, I went from being smart, witty, well, you know, I gained those back, thank goodness, but, you know, to not even being able to form a sentence, and looking at my husband and saying, holy cow, like, I can't even speak at this point. So, you know, I believe it's from the inflammation in the body that, and also the toxicity. You know, breast implants have over 40 heavy metals and chemicals, and, you know, whether you want to believe it or not, your body absorbs that toxicity. It's been proven time and time again, whether it's through, you know, blood work beforehand, after, you know, thyroid, your thyroid comes out of whack. That's another huge one, is the thyroid.
Yeah.
Women have, did you have any thyroid issues with yours?
You know, I just had one blood test, like something done with my thyroid, and they said no. Everything looked fine. But my memory loss, like, one thing I was noticing, like, every morning, well, I was prescribed, you know, obviously, because I went back into a depression episode, so I was put back on antidepressants. And I just remember, like, every single day, like, I'd have to take them every single day, and every single day I would forget if I took it or not. Like, and that was like one of the things, like, I'll never forget, like, just being like, wait, did I take it? Did I not? I can't even, like, I couldn't even, or I put avocado almost every single morning, and every morning I was like burning the toast. And, like, I know that's like kind of normal because you have kids and stuff, but it's like,
no, it's not normal though. You know, you're
the broil, like, and then walk away, and then it's like on fire. You're like, oh my God, the toast. But it's like, I eat that every morning. How could I forget this again? You know, and it was happening every single day. So things like that I've noticed, like, with memory, that's just been, you know, and I've already started to feel like I'm starting to remember again. And I'm like, oh my God, I can remember things from 5 minutes
Are you
ago.
feeling like a lot of the mental clarity come back since you've explanted?
Yes, totally. Just being able to process things and not feeling so like at loss for words sometimes, because I can't form those sentences. So slowly coming back. So thank the Lord. What else?
Let's see. Safia, thank you. Somebody asked what your symptoms were.
Oh,
Hi,
gosh,
Debbie Dodge. Let's see
symptoms.
here.
I was exhausted. Oh my God, now it's like, now remembering all them. It's like I've been trying to forget everything too. I kind of just try to move past, and I'll just, like, leave everything. So remembering everything, but the fatigue, the inflammation, the constant, like, peeing through the night. I'd pee at least 3 times a night, and I know that's, like, kind of like a weird common symptom. Insomnia. Oh my gosh, what other things was I dealing with? The memory loss, the brain fog, my joint pain. My joint pain was, like, horrible, which that hasn't completely gone away. It's, like, slowly going away. The food sensitivities was another thing that was
that's a huge one.
And the fear. And that's what I've noticed is one of the most common things, is that people get these random food sensitivities. So that was another one. My immune system, I was on antibiotics, and I'm somebody that loves wellness, loves health. I love alternative routes. I will try everything before I have to take medicine. So being put on antibiotics, how many times in 1 year? Like 5 times in a year. And I've been on antibiotics, maybe, 3 or 4 times in my life because of I had dental surgery and things like that, my breast surgery. So that was kind of really eye-opening. My lymph nodes being swollen. I mean, the list goes on and on. So many things.
And Marie Curtis 14 asked, is this more common now, or has it been like this for a while? I'm natural and I'm just curious. Well, we have women that have been fighting the FDA since the 90s, that they've been, and actually the same women that have been fighting since the 90s are still fighting alongside of us today. And unfortunately, it's not new. It's more common now because now we have social media. Now we can connect with one another and share the true experiences of what we're feeling, after being dismissed by doctor after doctor after doctor. I know I was for, 2 years of searching for answers. I didn't find anything out from a doctor. I found it out from a girl in a support group, and actually, that girl in the support group was Kim Barden, and she runs the Breast Implant Illness Instagram account. So she was one of the first people that helped me, is Kim. Yeah.
Support groups are great. I know there's a few on Facebook that have tons of followers.
Yep.
It's a bunch of women just talking about their experiences. So definitely, if you're somebody that is considering explanting or thinking that you might be having these symptoms, I highly suggest going into one of the support groups and just reading and listening to these women that are dealing with it every single day.
These women have nothing to gain by sharing their experience. And actually, they lose family members. They get labeled as crazy. It's psychological, and it's just not true. Pay attention to your body. Any foreign substance to the body is going to cause some sort of a reaction. It's just the way that it is. But I highly suggest, if you have any inkling about, the body and how it processes stuff, that, start with your implants. If you have breast implants and you're not feeling well and you've got these subtle, stupid little things going on, start looking into breast implant illness, because, and now, as far as now, like the women with the implants now, what I see, I've been helping women for, 4 years now through the Explant process, thousands of them. Yeah. What I'm seeing now is these younger girls, and I mean younger girls like in their, early 20s, like even you, that get their implants and that almost immediately are connecting the dots. They're like, I was totally fine up until I got my implants. I mean, I spoke to a girl a few weeks ago that was 23 years old, that was just super fit, super good shape, started breaking out all the time, kept having reoccurring yeast infections, and it's all related to the foreign object in the body, really.
And that's like one of the last things we go, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we don't think it could possibly be our implants. What else was I going to say?
See. Is it possible to have a reduction of natural breast tissue at the same time as explants? That's a tricky question. The reduction takes a lot more, a lot of the breast tissue out, and you need to have a good blood supply. I believe it can be done at the same time. Don't quote me on that, but I think that that's something that you might want to explant, maybe get a lift, and then see where you're at. Another thing is, a lot of women lose weight as right when they explant. Like in the first month after explant, like I lost 12 pounds and my whole shape changed. But as far as the reduction goes, I am not 100% sure if it can be done at the same time as explant, but I will definitely get back to you on that one. Let's see. Thank you for doing this live.
Questions I wrote.
This question is about the nipple sensitivity that was lost during when they got the implants put in. And it's been almost 3 years now. And does it come back ever after explant? And truly, it really doesn't. I had the same thing. I think they did nerve damage on the left side when I had mine in, and I've never regained the sensitivity really in that. I mean, I did notice a difference right after I explanted that, you know, my nipples were more sensitive than they were before, but I still have a numbing feeling in there that I believe was nerve damage, and I don't think that that can be repaired.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Is a fat transfer better option than implants? I would say it's definitely a safer option than implants. You know, I think that taking your own body fat is much healthier than, you know, 40 chemicals and heavy metals into your chest. I think that that is the way to go. Does Dr. Rankin work with insurance? Unfortunately, he does not work with insurance. And, you know, we've tried before. It was just unsuccessful on our end. But, you know, women have the right to, you know, file a claim on their own if they choose to. It's, you know, it's your, you know, but I would suggest checking your insurance policy first to see what you have. Let's see, ladies. Pick Dr. Rankin. He's the teacher who trained other docs. That's true. Dr. Rankin has, hold on one second here. And 6 weeks post-op and had an anchor lip. Let's see. Are your boobs original? I don't know if she's talking to me, but my boobs are original. Now they are. They're back. They're both, yeah, we're both back to the original. So that's SEMA. And then it says, would you say the toxicity is also happening with women who have saline implants? This is Natty Loves LA. Yes, it does not matter whether you have a silicone implant or a saline implant. All implants have a silicone shell. I had saline implants and they damn near killed me. I went from being top of my game in my job to being completely bedridden and not even being able to walk to the mailbox, but saline implants as well. What happens is there's two factors. There is the foreign object to the body. The body reacts to that. It becomes an endocrine disruptor and causes immune system dysfunction. The other thing is the silicone itself. You know, our bodies absorb the toxicity, and you know, women that have done like the hair samples, the hair testing, have seen, you know, arsenic, all the list that's in the implants have come out in the women's hair. I mean, that's not a fluke, you know. Let's see. But yes, saline implants can absolutely make you just as sick. And a lot of women with the saline implants have more fungal issues, and it kind of mimics like mold poisoning. I had mold poisoning I had mold speckles in my implants when they were removed. And you know, old school, they were done with the valve, and the valve, you know, could either be filled through an IV or through a syringe, but it just left room for cross contamination with that, with the valve. Let's see what else we have here. See, patients have blood clots and any other conditions as a symptom of BII. Yes, I have seen that, and it is fairly common. And I think it's more like lupus type. A lot of ladies get diagnosed with lupus with their implants. And a lot of, autoimmune diseases for sure. Let's see what else we have here.
ND doctor was telling me that that, you know, women that have any type of autoimmune history in their families should try to refrain from getting implants, because there is a huge
and they don't tell women that either.
No, like I wish I would have known that, because I would have really considered, you know, that going, you know, getting implants, because I had no clue.
And that's why there's, you know, there's a lot of women that, you know, I've spoken at the FDA meeting. I've attended both of them. You know, we have girls all over the US and actually globally that are working very hard to make changes. You know, Robin Tout, She is from Arizona. She worked super hard to get a bill passed for informed consent. And also, she's also working on the IDC codes to help for insurance purposes. So, you know, one of the questions that came through on my messages yesterday was from Bikini Foodie, and she asked, like, how do women get involved with, you know, the FDA? The best thing to do is just throw yourself into it. You know, there's a lot of advocates on social media for breast implant illness, and honestly, the more the merrier. You know, we showed up there with, you know, almost 100 women one time for one of the FDA meetings. And that's really what it takes. Like, we were all just like that, pissed off. How do we get involved? Like, how do we make a change? And another question that Bikini Foodie had asked was how to approach your friends and about, you know, exploring breast implant illness. You know, honestly, the best way to do that is by just sharing your story, sharing your experiences. You know, we are up against Goliath here with, you know, it's up to us as boots on the ground to make a change and spread awareness to our sisters about what's going on. So here's a question for me. Dee, have you seen a patient labs come back positive for Ana-RA? I just had a positive test result. Yes, that is super common. I myself had it. I don't know about you, but I was teetering the Ana markers. I had positive Ana result right towards the end, probably a month before. When does the doctor feel it's necessary to send the implants to the lab? So the implants really don't go to the lab. It's really the capsules that we send off to pathology, and pathology is done upon request. And so, you know, me personally, I believe every woman should take that extra step and send it off to pathology. It's just my belief. I feel like, when are you going to have tissue from inside the body again to send off for testing? You know, I just feel like it's that little extra step. It's, you know, it's a third party company, so it's not included in Explant prices usually anywhere. But, you know, it's worth the money of.
But doesn't insurance help cover pathology?
Yes, most cases they do. It may not pick up all of it. It'll pick up a portion of it. But I mean, I've yet to see, you know, on my end, people that couldn't get their insurance company to cover the pathology. Pathology is something that I just think is a no-brainer that they should just kind of automatically cover. You know, it's not like you're doing something crazy. Let's see. This is such great info. Thank you. Glad you're feeling better, Kayla. Would y'all talk to people out of breast implants after this experience? I believe that everybody has the right to do whatever they want with their own body.
Totally.
Your body, your choice. Now, do I say make sure you educate yourself? That we have a plethora of information at our fingertips now. When I got them in, you know, I think 2001, there was no real info. There was nowhere to search. Now it's all there. So, you know, I just say make an informed decision. Look at this side, look at that side. I don't tell anybody what to do with their body, whether it's implants, makeup, anything.
Yeah, a lot of people know about that too, like going to people and, you know, talking them out of getting implants. But I just feel like that's not my place. I'm just here to explain my own experience and perspective of what I've gone through. I feel like it's everyone's choice to make that decision. But yeah, like you said, I mean, you just show them, you know, all the toxins that are filled inside the implants, and, you know, an array of symptoms that they can cause and things like that. And then everyone else, you know, be the best judge of, you know, doing what they want with their body, for sure.
Will you be able to save this video in your stories later? Yes. Bam.
Yes.
Okay. Did you have ringing in the ears? Did you?
Yes.
I did.
So much. Like, so much.
Let's see.
And eyes, like weird eyesight issues. Just felt like they were always, like, I was going like this a lot, like trying to get my eyes to focus.
Yeah.
And I even had like I would always look in the mirror after I got my implants. I would look in the mirror and notice that I have one pupil bigger than the other one. And that's one thing I kept forgetting to ever say. But like, that was another weird thing that
that is weird. You're a
because
freak, Kayla. You're a freak of nature.
no, I was like, oh my gosh, now I really have a brain tumor or something because this is not right.
Yeah. Do you
Now,
do the ringing in your ears? Suffering from rosacea, acne, and other things. The skin issues is like off the charts. I would say probably 70% of women with breast implant illness, they usually have some sort of skin issue. You know, me, I had rashes all the time. I had a rash on my chest and on my back. Ironically, on either side of my implant. You know, what a lot of people don't know is that nickel is one of the heavy metals inside of the silicone. It's one of the heavy metals they use. And 65% of Americans have a nickel allergy. So right there, that just goes to show right there that, you know, more than likely that is a direct correlation between the two, you know, just on that one heavy metal. Let's see.
yeah, that's crazy. And yeah, there's how many metals in there? Isn't there like 40 or something like that?
Piercing pains. Yes, that is very common. Oh, I love you too. Let's see.
Yeah, I have
How
pain.
did you finally diagnose, Kayla?
Honestly, there is no like real diagnosis. I think just going to all these doctors, getting all this blood done, and like still it being nothing. I'm like, I don't take no for an answer type thing. Like basically saying like, oh no, it's nothing. You know, I was just like, no, I know my body. I cannot be feeling like I have a hangover every single day. When I'm healthy, I, you know, eat so clean. I work out. I rarely drink alcohol. Like I just take such good care of myself because I love to take care of my body. And just being told that like nothing is wrong, was really just kind of like, you know, and it angered me.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know, like I can't think of that one moment where I was just like, oh my gosh, it's my implants. I wish I did. I wish I did. I wish I could recall. Don't.
Yeah.
I fall upon other women that were going through explanting and watching their journeys were so inspirational. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what if I have that? Like, what if that's what it is? And then I think talking to you, Dee, like you talking about certain specific symptoms that I had never really discussed with anybody, that I had no idea that it could have any correlation ever. And now looking back, I know like even years ago when I was living in LA, it was like maybe a year or two after my second implant. I remember I went to a chiropractor and she was like doing some type of laser thing on me. And she's like, you have a lot of inflammation in your shins. And I was like, what?
You're like, yeah, I run everywhere.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you know, like, and then I was just like, all of these things kind of keep coming back into my brain of like little things that happen and just going through weird things. And now I'm just all could have linked together.
And I remember when I first talked to you on the phone and you being like, oh my gosh, yes. And like, it really connected a lot of the dots for you. And that's why it is so important for us to share and share our stories. Like, you know, something that I share with people that, you know, my family frowned upon me kind of putting it out there, but you know, I was suicidal and I would have never taken my own life. But did those demons dance around in my head every day? Absolutely. 100%. Those chemicals and heavy metals wreak havoc on the body. They cause dark thoughts. And, you know, I just remember after I explanted and, you know, leaving the surgery center and being like, holy shit, like that was it. You know, I didn't get diagnosed either. For me, it was a process of elimination. I was like, okay, well, I've had every biopsy, every blood test, oncologist, infectious disease doctor, you name it, I did it. And so I just took that leap of faith, and I'm so thankful that I did. Let's see what else we have here. And how old were your implants, Kayla?
I got my first implants in 2000, the end of 2013. I think it was 2013 or 2014. So I think they were 8 years old.
And mine were 16 years old. And before you jump on me and say that they were should have been replaced, women were told for many, many years that they were lifetime devices. I still talk to women today that were told that had implants 4 years ago, and the doctor said, no, you don't have to exchange them anymore. Like, it's just such, misinformation everywhere. Oh, Sarah Dungo, hi. Ah, sweet girl. Kim helped her too with her explant. So hold on, let me slide this down. Hold on, let's see where we're at here. There's some great questions in here.
Yeah. And yeah, I
Here's...
save it live so people can watch back, because I know it's, it's easier to watch later on.
Desi A. Hart asked, what are the best foods and supplements to take pre-surgery to get your body ready? I believe that really staying away from processed foods, doing a low inflammation diet, and being absolutely aware of everything you're putting into your body. Once you kind of connect the dots and realize that, hey, I think my implants are making me sick, that's when you really start to, if you're waiting for surgery, or you're still trying to figure out how you're going to do it or who's going to be your surgeon, the best thing for you to do is just really eliminate the processed foods. Alcohol is going to cause you to have flare-ups, sugars, and not everybody can eat healthy and clean. I was one of those people. I went from, having a great job, making tons of money, to, going to the church to get food to feed my kids. And, the food that I was given at the church was disgusting processed food, but it was food, so yeah. I was in this catch-22, but really, and even with the supplements, be very cautious of the supplements that you're putting into your body. You want to make sure that they're a high grade, and that, the additives in them, some of them even have silicone in them as a binder. So, you want to make sure that whatever you're putting into your body, you are reading the label. But as far as being able to maintain waiting to explant, just eating clean as possible, drinking lots of water, and just staying away from processed foods as much as possible. Let's see.
What truly helped me, honestly, is I was taking 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C at least every single.
That's a big help.
Made such a major impact. And then I've even started working with Organifi, which I love, my greens and reds, which I talk about all the time. And I took them, and that changed so much for me. It just helped me get through the days way more. And so that has a bunch of vitamins in it too. So I think it was just putting a good quality vitamin, like you said, in your body, drinking water, still working out, getting your blood flowing, just really doing all the things to make you feel your best,
I couldn't go in the sun. The light bothered me. I was heat sensitive. Literally, it took everything away from me. Did you have heat sensitivity?
Cold.
Cold. That's your thyroid, usually.
Oh.
When your thyroid is inflamed, it makes women freezing all the time. Let's see.
All the time. Free blankets at night, just crazy stuff.
So Jen Summers asked, how do you know it's not just an autoimmune disease? You can have an autoimmune disease prior to breast implants and then get sick with breast implant illness, and then you're still going to have the autoimmune disease, or you could have never had even a history of it before in your family, in your life, and then get breast implants, and then you're left with an autoimmune disease for the rest of your life. So that kind of goes. Hi, Tammy. Let's see, Port de Palm. Have you ever heard of neurological pain as a symptom of breast implant illness? Yes, that is very common. Neurological pains, for sure. Just weird sensations. I would get zaps in my head and just, ugh.
Yeah.
20 years. Let's see here. What are the downsides and side effects of a fat transfer? Fat transfer is still fairly new, and I think we're still learning about that. In my experience, I have seen women get small calcifications in their breasts from the fat. That's a possibility of that happening. But I haven't really seen too many. That's the only one I really know of is the calcifications in the breast. Did you have textured implants?
I did,
You
yes.
did. She did.
Years. They were the Allergan textured, the natural textured. Um,
So Jen1223 says, I'm almost 2 months out of Explant and I feel worse. Jen, that's common too, unfortunately. Some women, it's just your body processing it. You know, you have to start with the culprits, and the culprit is the implants, right? So once you remove them, like I was one of those people, I felt fantastic the first month after Explant. And then the shitstorm started. I had problems with my thyroid. My tonsils were swelling. I got nodules on my thyroid. I was riddled with candida, which is like a yeast overgrowth that I just couldn't. I ended up having to take, you know, two or three separate rounds of diflucan and nystatin on 3 separate occasions throughout the years. And I don't like taking that stuff either, but I was just so overwhelmed. And then from the antibiotics and from just everything that I was trying to, that, you know, I had to take antibiotics for my tonsils, then it would flare up the candida again. It was like this roller coaster ride.
did you
So
see?
Jen, what I would suggest too is also look into, if you explant and you're not feeling, you know, you feel like you're feeling worse or you're not feeling so good, also look into mast cell activation. What happens is that the cells inside the body tend to go haywire after we explant, and so we become allergic to everything. Like I was allergic to makeup, I was allergic to food. My allergies were much worse after explant than they were when I was suffering. But it's just your cells are in overdrive, and they're like hyperactive. They've been fighting these implants since the day one of implantation, and then you take them out, and then they're like, holy crap, we're gonna fight everywhere, because they kind of, it's just, and it settles after a while. But I would definitely look into that.
Or even a detox specialist, like someone that can help.
I believe Kayla was about to say something about my question regarding sensitivity. So that is,
Maybe it was a sensitivity around the areolas. I would think I was talking about that. Maybe, I don't know.
maybe run that question by their
Yeah.
in the comments one more time.
Um,
Abby, happy explant, Abby. She just explanted on Thursday with Dr. Rankin.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. Brain fog, possibility of blood clots. Yes, yes, yes. Have you seen lupus and other autoimmune diseases go away after explant? 100%. I have seen so many. I've even seen one woman posted in one of the support groups. This is amazing. She was diagnosed with MS. She had lesions on her brain.
Oh.
She was so sick, explanted, and I want to say it was either 6 months to a year after she explanted. Her doctor did the scan of her brain again, and the lesions were gone. And he said he had never seen that before, and the only thing she did different was explant.
That is insane. That's
Let's
amazing.
see here. What's the typical cost for pathology? From my understanding, it can run anywhere between $800 and $1,500 and $1,800. So it's kind of a wide range, but in my opinion, it's totally worth it. Got them a year ago, positive for thyroid. Yep. Kayla, did you have ring in? Yes, we got that one. So sorry, it scrolled up by accident.
Okay.
What kind of detox is suggested after explanting? So this is where my opinion differs from a lot. I do not believe you need to do a crazy detox plan and spend a ton of money on, a bunch of products. Do I think you should look, into, what your body's deficient? Absolutely. But do I think you need to pay somebody like, $3,000, $5,000 to assess what's wrong with you? I think you should write it out somewhat. But I do think, the natural ways to detox is water, supporting your liver, you know, digestive enzymes. I did, what is it? The charcoal capsules. I took those periodically from time to time, but you know, I recommend like more of just let your body be a little bit, let it readjust. I also think that like before explant, it's important to, you know, in the weeks before explant, stop taking all that crap. If you're taking, you know, 50 supplements a week, stop it. Let
Yeah.
your body do a hard reset on yourself, you know, for the 2 weeks prior, unless it's, you know, prescribed to you for, you know, medically necessary. Everything else, taper off. Stop adding all these things. We're not supposed to add all this stuff to our bodies, you know. And then after explant, we want our bodies to be able to create in the areas it is deficient naturally, because like with digestive enzymes, I was eating them all the time, but then I think my gut stopped producing them naturally because I was adding them. So you really got to look at the big picture. But and there are also, you know, there's a lot of detox scams out there. You know, for a good 2 years, I worked vigorously in, you know, explaining to women that don't fall prey to, there's a lot of people that will prey on you when you're vulnerable. And so,
Yeah.
did either of you have heart palpitations? And did that resolve after explant? Did you have heart palpitations?
See, I feel like I did, but I couldn't decipher if that was anxiety or not.
I had total heart palpitations. I felt like my heart was coming out of my chest at points. I don't know. It was just a real bad rhythm. But when you think about it, those implants are put, you know, if they're under the muscle, they're right on top of your heart, your lungs, you know, it's right next to your thyroid, all these sensitive organs right there that become inflamed. They become toxic from toxicity. So yeah, the heart palpitations, they definitely resolved with me. They were so bad. Can you repeat what you said about the nickel allergy and how it relates to implants? Yes, ma'am. So nickel is one of the heavy metals inside of breast implants, and 65% of Americans have a nickel allergy. So nickel is one of the heavy metals in silicone. And so if that is in silicone, I mean, I just believe that explains so many of the skin and the rashes. Like a lot of women have rashes, hives, welts all over them. But when you have all these metals inside of your body, you're much more likely to have a reaction, especially a skin reaction. I hope that answers it. But also, we'll be playing this. She's going to save the video, right, Kayla?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be able to play it afterwards. Is Explant more expensive than getting the actual implants? Yes, I would say so. I mean, it's been a long time since I priced out implants. So if anyone in the comments knows that,
I feel like they're a price.
it's probably very comparable.
Yeah, I think that they were like pretty much exactly the same price. But I wanted to also talk about, because I have had a few questions about, you know, pricing.
Yeah.
I have used Care Credit before, and I think it actually is amazing.
90% of the women use Care Credit or,
Yeah.
you know, Green Sky
Yeah.
financing, some sort of medical
option. And I think you don't have to pay the interest for like 24 months. So I totally recommend using Care Credit. I think that's incredible. If you are not feeling well, use Care Credit.
Yeah. And you know, they offer, you know, the reason I think 90% of the women use it, it's 24 months interest-free financing, you know. And you know, I did hear though, one of the keys to applying for Care Credit is the drop down, use other and not cosmetic surgery. This isn't cosmetic surgery, so click down other. Was your husband supportive?
Yeah. He's just like, whatever you want, babe. Obviously, he just wants me to feel my best. And I want to be my best for him and my children.
Oh, thank you, Shannon. These heavy metals are causing so many skin and neurological problems. Yes, for our autistic kiddos. Amazing info. Yes, that is very true. How long did you wait to get in with Dr. Rankin? The wait is long, but it does go by fast. You know, you research and research and research, but it is a long wait to get into Dr. Rankin.
And I just met with a lot of different doctors and kind of waited while I was just meeting with other doctors and getting opinions. And,
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer on going on multiple. I think everyone should go on 3 consultations. And when you do go on consultations, remember, you are interviewing them to open up your body and you know, and you're trusting them. We've been duped by, you know, the implant manufacturers and the FDA for that matter. You know, we've been duped. So our trust is like, so definitely I suggest everybody goes on multiple consultations like you did, you know. Dr. Rankin wasn't your only consultation.
No. So it's nice to hear like different opinions and what, you know, different doctors said that they would.
Let's see, I called my doctor last month. Yeah, exactly. Fashion Queen Jolene. She called her doctor who did her surgery last month. Hers are 23 years old, and the surgeon himself said they do not need to be replaced unless I'm having problems with them. So, and they've actually changed they used to say remove them every 10 years, and it's actually now they're telling women to remove them every 6 to 8 years. So even if you do have breast implants or you're thinking of getting them, you need to think about it. Am I going to have surgery every 6 to 8 years and shell out 10, 15,000, whatever it costs to get implants, and how taxing that is on your body as well.
Yeah.
Wonder if it's just I keep hearing about detox waves. Have you experienced this? Kayla has had some sweaty moments.
Yeah. Like sweating up the wazoo, just sweating galore, like, you know, having to change my sheets, having to change in the middle of the night because I'm just covered in sweat. That has been one of the biggest things for sure. But yeah.
Let's see. Apple cider vinegar for the win.
Yeah.
Hi, Sasha. Are you happy with how your breasts look now?
Me? Yeah.
I am. Excessive sweating, racing heart rate and palpitations. Yes, Brooke, that is totally one of them. Excessive sweating too. Did you use arnica, Kayla?
I did.
You did? Yep. Most girls use arnica. It helps with the bruising.
I did 4 and 2 weeks after.
Yeah.
I did bruise a tiny bit. I still have, I barely have a little bruise left, but I bruised so minimal. And I bruised.
Yeah, you really didn't have a lot of bruising.
No.
Let's see. Have you seen people not get better after Explant? You know, I can't say they haven't gotten better. I've seen women that have ended up with mast cell activation, which is, you know, unfortunately one of those ugly repercussions to the breast implants. And, you know, for the women that do get the mast cell activation, it's very painful. You know, it doesn't really ever go away. You just kind of learn how to manage it. But as far as like not getting better, it's usually because something has stemmed from the implants. Like these women that are getting the mast cell activation, for instance, you know, or lupus, you know, that don't get the negative lupus after. I've seen it go away, but I've seen it also not go away, but it just depends on the woman and the body. But that is just one of those things that, you know, you should remove them before you do have something that, you know, or the man-made cancer, which is breast implant associated anaplastic large cell lymphoma. And that type of cancer is like a blood cancer that is specifically caused from the breast implants. They have not, the FDA says that they can't say if it's just textured or if it's smooth. It's been found in both. So that means like if it's giving a man-made cancer, you can only imagine the other stuff that it's doing to the body.
Exactly. It's just putting everything out of whack.
What do you ask for? Just implant removal? This is Katie. Katie, it is really important that you just don't take out the implants. The capsules have to come out with them. The capsules are the scar tissue that surrounds the implants, and those capsules become saturated with toxins from being pressed up against the implant for so long. So if you go to a consultation and your, prospecting surgeon says, oh, you don't need to remove the capsules, they're thin, walk away. That's not your guide. You want somebody who's committed to doing the surgery the way you ask. First and foremost, it doesn't matter what they believe.
Yeah.
It matters that you trust whoever has opened you up to doing exactly what you say. The surgeon that I went to, 4.5 years ago, he thought I was nuts. He totally thought I was nuts. He was like, "You're wasting your time." And I said, "I really don't care. I know you explanted my friend. I just need to know that you're going to take out my implants and you're going to remove the capsules and you're going to provide me with photographs." And he did. When he saw me 5 days later, he was like, "Oh my gosh, you look like a totally different person." I'm like, "Yeah, crazy. It wasn't those implants, huh?"
Yeah. Yeah.
What process leading up to the surgery day when do you start the antibiotics? After surgery, you start the antibiotics. And at Aqua, Dr. Rankin, he gives you a little bit of antibiotics through the IV just as a preventative measure to prevent infections starting. But you can take them. A lot of women don't take the antibiotics following the surgery. So to each their own. You don't have to take them after surgery, but they're there for you in case there's an emergency or something comes up. Let's see what else. What's the difference in pain and recovery of an implant versus explant? Kayla, you have little ones. When can you resume normal and play with the kids, basically kid activity?
Okay, so I have noticed that I had both my implant surgeries were so easy, such a breeze, like slept, and then I felt like I was just like right back at work and everything. So my explant has been a little bit harder. Obviously, I think it is because I do have small children, but I would really, really, really highly recommend trying to stay away from your kids at least a week. I did not, and Dee, I know you told me you should.
I said, yeah, be selfish. This is one time.
Just had a really hard time with that, and obviously, with my husband training and doing all these things, I just feel like I cannot be away from my family. I have to be there and be, a support system.
Yeah.
No, I did have help. It was still hard. My kids still want me to pick them up like every day, and I'm always just saying, "Boo-boos, ow, my boo-boos, I can't hold you right now." But I'm doing way more than I probably should right now, which isn't good, but I kind of don't really have much of a choice. But I feel good, so I'm just kind of like listening to my body.
Yes.
And I think that's all you can do, with small children, it is hard. So I will say, like, it is hard. So please, like, take as much time as you can away from your kids, as well as having somebody there to do all the things that getting them in and out of a crib or getting down a bottle, lifting up a pot.
Honestly, it's that one time, just like I tried to tell you, it's the one time that you really need to be selfish. You need to protect your investment, and your investment is the surgery and your health. It's that one little window, because even though you're home and you have help, they don't want grandma, they want mommy. And it's so hard to be like, "Hey, go over there," or "Don't climb on me," or a random, a child slamming their head on your chest can just be catastrophic. It really can after surgery. Let's see what else. Heart palpitations. Let's see. Super low heart rate a symptom of BII? I believe so, because my heart rate was always so low. I would have to double check on that, but I know I had that personally.
I don't know.
Did Kayla get a lift? Yes, she did.
I got
What is a fair price for explant surgery? Giselle, honestly, explant surgery, to have your breast implants removed and your capsules removed. So that's implant removal and a total capsulectomy. And that is, at Aqua, it's $7,800. We are, regionally, it's different pricing. California, it's like $15,000. New York, $15,000. You know, Florida, we do it good here in Florida. Just kidding. but honestly, you have to factor in for, some states, they have higher insurance, higher property taxes, higher payroll taxes. You're paying for all that stuff.
Yeah.
So right around, anywhere between 7 and, 9,000, I think is like a very good accurate for Explant. Now, to add a lift on is an additional 3,600 or 3,800. I apologize. The pricing's changed recently, like in November, but just to Explant and have the caps. Oh, one more thing that I really wanted to talk about was N block.
I was going to just say the same thing.
Were you?
Yeah.
So many women are like N block, N block, N block, N block, N block. And N block should, of course, be done, for textured implants, older silicone implants. But like I had smooth saline, mine was a total capsulectomy. That's fine. As long as the doctor is committed to removing your entire capsules. A couple years ago, a lot of it was, it was our way of seeing that the entire capsule was removed, as if it was all there, but then we have, some surgeons who are scandalous and, that back half of the capsule's missing and they're being, oh, look, here's your thing. But, we're not stupid. Women see. It's better.
Uh-oh. I don't know if that was mine or Wi-Fi is on. Am I still on? Can anyone still see me? I think I'm still live. Hello? Okay, you hear me. I can answer some questions. I'll wait for Dee to get back on. I'm on my phone, so the questions are so small, so I will try to answer them. So yes, I had the ringing in the ears. I did have textured implants back in 2000. That was the first implant I had put in. Hormonal issues. Yes, I had very bad PMS. Just like severe periods, which I've never had in my life. Hair loss or neck pain? No hair loss. My hair just grows like crazy. But neck pain, I go to a chiropractor and always my C2 disc was out of whack. So I would always just get my C2 put back in. So that could have some correlation. Chronic fatigue, yes. I'm so glad I can give you some hope, Betty Boop. Neck pain, headaches. I think everybody deals with things differently, for sure. Low libido, yes, just non-existent. Alcohol sensitivity, like crazy. I mean, I became so allergic to wine. I talked about it in my story how like one night I literally thought I was gonna have to go to the hospital because I had like a glass and a half of wine and I was just sicker than a dog and it was scary. What kind of detox? Everybody can do things differently. I think obviously sweating is anything to get stuff out of your body. So sweating is going to be something great. Drinking a lot of water obviously is just going to help get it flushing all the lymph nodes. Lymphatic drainage massages, again, just flushing the system. Just getting things out of your body, like crying, peeing, sweating, all these things, pooping, all these things are just getting stuff out of your system. So just obviously keeping your system flushed, hydrated. Another thing I'm going to try is the coffee enemas. I've heard a lot of good things about that stuff. What else? I do an infrared sauna. The infrared is like great with healing things like deep penetration into the skin, like getting, helping with just any inflammation, or if you have incisions, it's going to help with like recovering, a bunch of things like that. I could go on about that. What else? Can you repeat what you said about the nickel allergy? I know she talked about that. Um, yeah, the feeling of feeling hungover was just like all the time without drinking alcohol. It's unfair. No one should have to deal with that. Um, yes, dark thoughts. Yeah, there's so many heavy metals. It's crazy. Like when I read the list, I was just like, how did I not know this? Like, how did no one even at the beginning of, getting implants, like the doctor never said, hey, just letting you know, this is the ingredient list that is like inside the implant. Do, are you sure you want to, absorb these chemicals? So some sort of consent would be nice for sure. Um, I did have my implants under the muscle, yes. And so I think the 2 week marks, I'm still very sore, like very tender. I feel like, tender to the touch for sure. With the kids, if they like lay on me, I'm like, oh my gosh, ow, ow, ow. So it is still really sore. Obviously, I'm almost 3 weeks post-op. So I think, Dr. Rankin said it could take, a month, maybe 2 months. It's all normal. So just knowing that there is going to be a lot of soreness. Um, let's see. I love the way my breasts look now. Yes, I have been having this sweating like crazy. Yes, so the repairing the gut, that is something I'm gonna have to really, that's something that's sad. Like I just feel like I have to repair my gut, and I want to go find a specialist that like, really can help me alongside repairing my gut from the destruction of antibiotics. They really just, the way we use antibiotics in the United States is just horrible. They just wreak havoc on your gut, and your gut is literally more important. It's like the brain of your body, not it's like your real brain. Everything stems from your gut. So the antibiotics just eat away and destroy all the good bacteria that are going there fighting all these, things and with your immune system. So repairing it is definitely takes work. So yes, I'm going to try to find somebody that can help me repair my gut, being on the antibiotics so much. And also I still have like bloating pudginess in my stomach, I think because of that. And I think also with the coffee enema that will help, removing that. And also I've been also learning a lot about like parasites, and a lot of people, almost every single person on this planet has parasites living inside their gut, but and they can cause an array of symptoms as well and things like that. So I want to cleanse all that out as well. What else? I did an implant removal and a lift. I did an anchor lift. Yes, so they took out my capsules around the implant, yes. I did do the nerve block. Oh, yes, that was another question. If Dee was on here, the Explants, that's what it was called. I did end up doing that. I had to pay, I think it was like $300 extra, $350 extra to have the nerve block. And I asked a lot of people that have had surgeries that have had that, and they said that it was like a game changer. So I was like, fine, I'll just pay the extra $300 and do the nerve block. And yeah, I wasn't in that much pain. Obviously, I took my pain meds because I was in pain, more so on my right side than my left. My right was just super, super sensitive. The drain was, so painful. So yeah, But this side, my left, I was like, barely knew what happened. My nipples are still numb. If I only had known before, did Kayla lose her as well? No, I did not lose any. I still have full sensitivity. I'm actually more sensitive now. So I know Dee mentioned that. So hopefully it will remain, kind of go back to normal. Hopefully I will not lose the sensitivity. Because I do worry about going forward, having another child, breastfeeding and things like that. I want them to obviously work. Wow, yeah, awesome. So would the symptoms go away, the toxicity live in your body forever? See, I don't know. Scientifically, I don't know. But I think that if you do the research on the detoxing, like that's what I'm doing right now, just trying to read so much about detoxing your body and following all these people that really help cleanse the body, and heal your gut. Like I said, I think everything stems from the gut personally. So I think finding a specialist that deals with cleansing the metals, and healing your gut are like the two key components to, feeling your best for sure. Yes, I did get a lift. Yes, zero libido. My husband is supportive but doubts that implants are the cause of my symptoms. Yeah, a lot of people will question that and, wonder like if it really is your implants, but your body. If, oh, Dee just text me. Oh, there we go. Okay. He doubts my implants are causing the symptoms. Honestly, like I said, your body, and I think that if um if you feel better and you want to get the surgery, I think you should do it, and and just see how you feel. I think it's definitely like after you've gone through all these things and it's a cross examination of not being that, then if that's your last, avenue to your health, I say go for it. And I think it can only go uphill. You're just removing the substance of toxicity from your body. It's just going to get better, in my opinion, from there. Yes, I can't believe I've been living in pain from my implants all these years and somehow just got used to living like that. The resilience of the human body never ceases to amaze me. That is so true. I was just also used to the symptoms and kind of just trying to mask certain things and just dealt with it. And just it was like, oh, this is normal. This is normal. I've had 2 kids. I'm almost 30. Like, creating this narrative in my head that it's just normal to not feel your best, which I think is a crock of shit. I think that we can all get to optimal health depending on, what we put in our body and body, mind, and soul. You know what I mean? They're all connected. Please tell women to find a doctor who believes in BII. Most people won't remove the capsule, so thankful. Yeah, so I think there is, I wish I could, I'll link it. There's a list of doctors that do the end block surgery. I think it's around the world, and I have that actual link. So I will post that on my story so you guys can swipe up and see all the doctors that do specialize in explant surgery, because I think that will be so helpful. Is it kind of like getting an organ transplant and your body is rejecting because it is a foreign object? So yes, supposedly that is why it happens, is because your body is trying to reject it, which I think it's not just implants. It can be from any type of foreign object you have in your body. That's why people have issues with, dental implants or, joint implants, things like that. Awesome. Another explant coming up. Congratulations, Fashion Queen Jolene. Good luck. Arnica. I did arnica 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after. Explant ASAP or wait until you're done having babies. So I just really wasn't feeling my best, and I was just like, I just need to get these things out of me so I can be there to my best ability for my husband and my children. And right now is like the only time to do it. So with this, massive year, I just felt like I had this, this much time before the Olympics. So I knew that if I was going to do it then at that time, that's the only time I was going to do it. Are you losing a lot of hair, and does your explant change your periods? My periods did change drastically. Like I said, it was just crazy cramping, really dizzy, like a lot of iron issues, and just, yeah, like super tired. I had to take some um, this one thing called PMS Soothe really helped a lot, because I was just getting so dizzy. And then just these horrible cramps that I was just like, I was in labor. I'm like, what is going on? I just explanted today. I feel way better than before. That is awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. I love to hear women just getting the implants out and just feeling better. That is so amazing. Yeah, with the root canals too, I've heard the same thing. It's just your body, our bodies are so smart and we don't give them enough credit. So do I start them before? I don't know. Start the arnica. You start the arnica before, yeah. I did the arnica before 2 weeks before the surgery and then 2 weeks after the surgery. So I took it for the arnica for a month. So sore still, so achy. I'm on week 5 post explant. Oh yeah, I'm really sore too. Um, Scars. My implant incision was done around the areola and my implant was positioned under the muscle. How would I know if I need to lift? I think that's something that you'd have to ask the doctor. My implants were under the muscle as well. But Dee said that he will, I'm assuming any doctor will go through the same exact scar. But I think that's just asking them like what they think and how much breast tissue you have left. Oh, that's awesome. In Canada, my implant is covered through our healthcare. That's awesome. I think eventually it might be here. Uh, I just think it will probably take some time and just more people sharing their stories, that it is something that maybe insurance will, think, maybe this is something serious and consider it. Does Dr. Rankin take pictures of explants? So yes, he actually did full videos for me, pictures and videos. So yeah, you just have to ask and they totally will. They'll even give you your implants. That's another question that I was asked about my implants. I haven't heard anything back yet from the manufacturer. I should call and check. So yeah, because mine were sent to the manufacturer for possible capsular contraction. So I have not heard anything back yet. So we should see. We shall see. Let's see. Yes, my implants were under the muscle. Yeah, I can't drink wine. But I have started with a new wine company that I cannot wait to tell you guys about because it gives me zero reactions. And this company is amazing. So I have been like talking with them so much, just learning so much about like biodiversity of wine and all the chemicals that are in conventional wine. Oh, it's another conversation. But I have found the wine that will not make you sick, ladies and gentlemen. D can't get back on.
Okay, sorry, she's trying to get back on. Um, can you talk about lymph nodes under your armpits? Mine are so big. I was wondering how long before to. So I didn't have any swollen lymph nodes in my armpits, but I did in my neck. I still have a little, tiny little bit, but I did have one massive one right here that has gone down significantly. I even had to go get like an ultrasound on it because it was so big. And they thought I possibly could have had mono or Epstein-Barr because I just had so many lymph nodes in my neck. But right after Explant, this lymph node, it just continues to go down. Then after like a week or two after, it was like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks after Explant, all my lymph nodes in my armpits just like they were just little balls like everywhere, and my armpits were like so sore. And I asked Dr. Rankin if that was normal, and he said yes, that was completely normal. So now they were like that for maybe like 3 days, and now they're all back to normal, and they're not there, and I'm fine. So I think it's just our body's way of working everything out of the system. What is a coffee enema? I don't know why it's not letting you on, D. That is so weird. It's not sending me a request at all. Anyone who see this person will be able to watch this video too. I don't know why it will not.
Hi.
Oh
I'm
my,
back.
I do not know what happened.
It just kicked me off. Hold on, let me see here. Hold on. I changed devices so that it would not do that again. See if that helps. But there we go. Much
Okay.
better.
So, I feel like the last question, I did not do a fat transfer. I did not have a J lift. I had an anchor lift. I'm trying to go back to where there was one question about the lymph nodes. Somebody was talking about the lymph nodes in their armpits.
Oh, I had my lymph nodes. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of the first things that I went to the doctors for, because one of the lymph nodes under my armpits was registering like it was the size of a walnut. That's how swollen it was. And like they're like smaller than a pea. They're so small, but the lymph nodes in the armpits are like a telltale sign of breast implant illness.
Yeah. Skin issues,
Let's
yes,
see.
yes. Um,
You visited the ENT. Did you have issues with your ears?
I did go to an ENT. He looked, I had my first ear infection ever just this past, like last summer. It was crazy. But yes, I went to an ENT. He said everything looked normal. He would take out my tonsils if I wanted to, but that was basically it. And I was like, ugh, I don't know. So I was debating whether doing a tonsillectomy as well prior.
Yep, they almost took out my tonsils. I had tons of issues with my ears, just like I kept getting inner ear infections all the time. And, and I also think some of that is to do with, mercury fillings or silver mercury fillings, whatever. Those can also affect your ears too.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke, Brooke says skin issues. Do you mean acne or rashes? Both, actually.
I missed what Dee said about antibiotics prior to surgery. You take this. No, you take the antibiotics. She was saying that they put an antibiotic in the IV of the day of your explant, like while you're under, and then you take them after, if you want.
Vertigo, yes. Natty loves LA. Yes, vertigo is definitely a
So much.
sign of breast implant illness for sure.
Mm-hmm. All the time. Okay. Let's see.
I was a size probably like big C, small D prior, and now I'm probably like a small B.
Were your silicones, were yours were silicone both times, right?
Yes, I was at the textured silicone gel
Yeah.
gum, and then I had silicone gel, just plain silicone gel. Um, I did not do a fat transfer. And I'm going to be, yeah, later on, after I'm done with the explant, like just I'm going to give my body some time to just heal and recover. Then I want to do another array of blood tests and test all my metals so I kind of know where to start with. And heal my gut and detox from the metals is definitely two of my huge goals going forward.
Anything recommended for skin issues while waiting to explant both acne and rashes from products? Claudia, the skin issues are one of those things that it's very difficult to combat because it's coming from internally. So, you know, with the acne, so many women would get cystic acne on their faces and the rashes, and there's not really, they'll give you a steroid or a steroid topical cream for it, that can give you some relief for the rashes, but it's really, I haven't seen anything that really works to clear up the acne with, or like the severe rashes from breast implants without removing them. Anything you guys recommend?
Are you able to pick up your kids? No, not really. I mean, my youngest, I try to like somehow hold her a little bit, or I'll put her on my back, and that's kind of like what I'm doing right now. D, what's the capsular contraction? Can you explain that?
Yes, capsular contracture. There's several different grades of it, but it's the breasts become very hard and it's and tight, and it can be very painful for some women. Some women have it and don't know they have it, and some women have it and are in excruciating pain from it. But and also, sorry, it's all jiggly. It's because I'm having to hold it. Um, it's it's the body's really fighting super hard to protect you from the implants, and one thing that, the capsules, like with
Ah!
textured implants,
I just had a bug.
I'm like, what are you doing in there?
Oh my gosh, it was a fly or something. Now I don't even know where it went. Oh my goodness.
I didn't see it. You just look like you freaked out. You're like, what is that?
And I was like, what the? Anyway, sorry guys. I don't know where that went.
Riley Marie says 6 months post explant, but still can't lose weight and have histamine issues. Now, the histamine issues can be flare-ups for, 12 months, a year. I still have histamine issues. Like I eat tons of seafood. I eat seafood all the time.
Mm-hmm.
2 months ago, I went out with my son and we had crab legs, and I'm like, wow, my lips are so swollen. And it's just, I was having a reaction to it, and it is definitely from the histamine. How
Crazy.
does a doc decide anchor lift versus the J wrap? He'll decide depending on also where your implant incision went in, and where your implants were put in. If they were put in under the in the fold of the breast in the crease, most likely you would be well, definitely you would be a candidate for an anchor lift instead of the J wrap. The J wrap is something, if you had your implants put in through your armpit or through your areola, you are a better candidate for that particular lift.
Interesting. Yeah, somebody was asking about that. Okay. So I think we answered everything as much as possible. If
Yep.
there's any questions, I will answer them in the comments. Like when I save this back, and then if anything, also have Dee help answer some things that I don't know.
Yeah, and feel free to reach out to me as well. Like if there was something that was missed here or something you want me to go into depth with, feel free to reach out to me. You can send me a message or on Instagram or Facebook, either or.
Totally.
And thank you, Kayla,
Of course.
so much
I
for just using your platform to educate and support and help women through. It's such a scary process. It's a gigantic leap of faith, and I just can't thank you enough for all you've done to help women out there.
No, thank you. Thank you for, encouraging me and helping me along the way. Like I said, I'm just so thankful that I have a platform to help share this message, and for the women that strangers that I've listened to their stories, like if it wasn't for these, strangers, I would have never, gone through with it or wanted to talk about it myself. So knowing that they helped me so much, I just feel like I'm just giving back.
Paying it forward. We're paying it forward,
Totally. Yeah.
And hopefully, maybe down the road, if there's a demand for this again to answer more questions, or when you're further on with your recovery, we can do this again. But thank you so very much for your time tonight, and get back to those babies.
Yeah, they're asleep, and I'm about to go to bed too.
Me too. I'm so tired. Have a good night, Kayla. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye. Thank you, people, for watching. Bye.